Hello, my name is Paul Blackmore, and I'm a watchmaker here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And the purpose of this video is to educate the public. I want to tell you my personal theory after being in business for 16 years of what is the best thing to look for when you're buying a watch. Most major watch companies, Seiko, Bulova, Citizen, and whatnot, would all have some models within their line that I, as a watchmaker, would approve of and would advise buying. But by and large, any watch company you want to name has got real problems with a lot of their watches because of the following reasons. From a watchmaker's perspective, here is the basic checklist of things that you need to have on a watch if it's going to last for a long time and give you good service. I'll make this as short as I can. Okay, first of all, it sounds simple, but if you're buying a watch, anything over $100 and below, buy whatever you like. But if you're going to spend $100 or more, you want to always buy something with a round glass. Reason for that is it's always going to be more watertight if the glass is round. I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's actually quite true. If the glass is round, even if you do break it, it's going to be cheaper to fix. Many times you buy a square watch, square glass, even if you wanted to fix it, even if you're willing to pay the exorbitant rate that I'd have to charge you to change a square one, I just couldn't. Sometimes I can't even get them because of the peculiar shape. And the expense of sending it away is really a lot. So round glass, number one, okay? Now that's going to cut a lot of styles right out. Number two is you want to make sure you're always buying all stainless steel case. Many watches, almost all watches, have a stainless steel back, but many also, even very expensive watches, oftentimes will use base metal bezels. And what happens is your sweat will gradually rot these things out. They'll get really sharp on the edges. It'll dig into your skin, and it'll eventually lose its ability to keep the water out because it won't mate as well with the back as it should. And so you need a round glass, and you need all stainless steel. Those are two very critical things. Thirdly, you need a rating of 100 meters, which will come on many round face watches made of stainless steel, with this extra feature, which I'm just pointing out now for the first time, a screw-down back. You see these little notches here on the back? Those are lugs which are used with this tool right here, and I have a larger tool as well. That's called a watch crab. I use those to sort of twist the back off, and that makes for a much tighter back than just one that snaps on. So again, stainless case, round crystal, and a screw down back with a 100-meter rating, and you're already getting close to what I would consider to be the ideal watch. Now, a couple of extra nice features which would be nice to have. This particular watch, along with a lot of watches in this particular line which I sell here, have what they call a sapphire crystal. Now this sapphire crystal enables me to do this here to the watch. I can hack at it. I could even use a screwdriver, I suppose, if I wished, and very little likelihood of ever scratching that glass. It's the closest thing to scratch proof there is. You could take a grinder or a welder and you could damage it. It's not as if you cannot ever damage it, but it is nearly indestructible, that sapphire crystal. Another thing to look for, a nice clear readable dial, which this one has. And here's a great feature to have. Very few watch companies, I don't know why, but they do not offer watches that you can change the strap. You see the lug sticking out of the side of the case here? If you don't have a system like this with a replaceable strap where you see you can take the pins out of, when the strap fails, oftentimes you have to throw the watch out. So again, just a few things to get, and if you get this, no matter what the brand is, you're going to get a good watch. A round face, sapphire if you can get it, all stainless steel case, screw down back, replaceable watch strap is another bonus, Plus, another bonus would be a very good movement. The actual running gear, which is in some ways almost one of the least important things as far as watch performance. Case is really where it's at in terms of good versus bad watches. But if you get an additional bonus of a good Swiss movement, which this one has, you've got a really, really good watch. And it used to be you'd have to spend to get that kind of quality, 500 to 1,000, and of course you could go way more. But nowadays, this kind of quality is available in a number of lines. This particular line has many, many watches below the $300 mark, and this particular one is in that zone. It's actually only, this one here, my goodness, it's only a $295, and of course I sell these at a discount. So that's also available in ladies' watches as well. Here's another small Volima ladies' watch, and these I've chosen these. These are some of the plainer versions. There are some little snazzier versions that still have all of those features as well. Here's my, I suppose, my personal favorite. 3 of my boys have this particular model. This one is the Volima Professional, and again, this one has a screw-down back. It's also got a replaceable strap, although it looks a little more form-fitted. Gorgeous watch, only about 7 or 8 millimeters thick, very, very water resistant, nice and easy to see. And one last thing I'll mention, never ever ever buy a solid gold colored watch. The amount of gold that's being put on watches these days, even on a good watch like this, what gold there is would be maximum 8, maybe 10 microns if you're lucky. Gucci boasts that they use 10 micron. Years ago, when watchmakers made watches, they would commonly build them with 20, sometimes 30. I've seen as many as 80 microns stamped on watch cases. So any watch that's gold today, the gold is going to wear within the first year, oftentimes within the first 6 months, sometimes within the first 2 months. Sometimes within the first week. So the way around that is when you do buy a watch, if you want gold, settle for something with a two-tone like this. It's a much smarter way to buy it, and the main color of the watch will be stainless, and your gold will just be like an accent color. One other neat little feature on this particular watch, it has solid links. So they are not hollow. Wrist hairs don't get caught in those. It feels as smooth as glass on the wrist. And this one again has a really good Swiss movement. No matter where you lived in the world, you could find a watchmaker somewhere who could service that particular movement. It's a very good Swiss ETA 955 movement used in tag heuers, used in many watches, 500, 1,000 and more. And this particular model, by the way, used to be once upon a time, 15 years ago when I first started selling these, the Volima Professional at that time, I was selling it about, I think $475. And again, this one here is now only, my goodness, only $295, and again I discount off of those. Now in the event that you are in the Fredericton area and you wanted to drop into my shop, here are the particulars of where my shop is. That toll-free number is good in Canada. Cell phone number is good in Canada as well. I also sell a lot of Bulova grandfather clocks. That is the Nicolette model, and I can match anything you can see on the internet. So anyway, and you can also find this company here on the internet, volima.ca or volima.com, and you can see this very model, the Professional. I think it's one of their very best ones, and I have a ton of their stock. Just got a new order in. But anyway, those are the watchmaker, at least this watchmaker's personal checklist for things to buy in a watch. And whatever brand you buy, if you have the following things: a round glass with a sapphire glass, with a stainless steel bezel and back, all stainless steel case, and all stainless steel bracelet, solid link if you can get it, and most certainly a screw down back like this, much more water resistant. And another little bonus this one has got, this has got an offset crown, you see, down to the 4 o'clock, so as you're wearing it, it's very comfortable, it doesn't dig onto your wrist, plus it's almost impossible to catch that and bend it or rip it out. So anyway, there you have it, a checklist for what makes a good watch. And you can buy good watches from a lot of different companies My personal advice as a watchmaker, go simple. Don't get anything with a ton of extra buttons. It's just extra places for water to get in. And don't, whatever you do, buy these Eco Drive watches. They have another layer of technology in there, and I have found as a watchmaker just tons and tons of those coming in here for servicing, and you have to really send those to the factory. So as long as your factory is in business, you're okay to buy that high-tech stuff. But if you're looking to buy something that you can service anywhere in the world, no matter where you bought it, this would be as good a choice as any watch. Anyway, it's almost 10 minutes, and we're going to call it at that, and enjoy. Thank you very much.